Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Aaron. So I will be presenting this webinar about customer journey mapping and business process improvement through digital enterprise architecture establishment. I trust that some of you or most of you here are involved in one way or another in terms of focusing how do we make our customer happy to ensure that because what happened, our businesses, our livelihood all depend on the customer because they are actually our lifeline to support our business. And of course, now as we move from the brick and mortar towards digital, unfortunately, many companies are not ready in terms of the providing a good service because now customers are more savvy, more technology savvy. Their expectation is much more beyond what in the traditional business. So my presentation exactly addressing how can we design or maybe overhaul or transform our customer service team to ensure that we are up to date and we are meeting the customer needs, of course, with the establishment of enterprise architecture practices. So let me just begin by sharing with you on the Gartner prediction. This is a very, very interesting. If you can see on the slide that today in the digital world, we are living in the connected world. I mean, in the past, if we have some issue with the client, maybe other client don't know, but today in the digital world, everything is connected. We basically is that even we may have some incident in another country, but the news can spread to beyond the country local resident. So it's everyone living in the connected world. Remember in the past, so-called economy life cycle every 10 years. So every 10 years we know got recession. But now we can happen recession like 2 or 3 times in a month because the news travel very, very fast. That's what happened with the Gartner prediction by 2025. Enterprises will evolve into the ecosystem, and you want to manage this ecosystem, you need enterprise architecture. So that is the so-called mandate about the digital transformation, and we are living in the connected world. So this is another analogy about where we are today. So looking at the what Gartner predict 2025, we need to transform. And of course, now due to the COVID-19, they got some businesses are taking advantage. They are in a good competitive advantage. They are prosper, but most of the businesses can't survive. So they are struggle in terms of maintaining, even sustaining the current business. So this is what happened, like someone walking at the cliff edge. So they got many, many disruption. And I think digital transformation failure rate is about 70 to 80%. And of course, there is more and more value. And of course, towards 2025 also, only 20% will be successful. So how can we become a successful? Of course, one of the way is that we need to embrace and adopt what I call it enterprise architecture. Basically is that we cannot run the business by chance. We really need to design and architect our business so that we can soar like eagle. So this is another illustration about our customer relationship management. Perhaps you are involved in one or another, developing a CRM system or maintaining CRM system. But unfortunately, if you put it in the map, most of them are a little bit silo and they are not integrated. I believe all of us have experience with the customer service. You're buying a product or you are taking a services, but somehow our experience is not that pleasant. The organization doesn't have the connected system end to end. Whatever data that we are so-called showing, and when they transfer to another department, we have to start all over again. So somehow the our experience is disparated. So this is, of course, moving forward is not good because the competitor are coming in with the very seamless, closed loop, connected customer experience. So how do we resolve all these issues? Of course, one of the way is that we need to map from the strategy, because if you want to win the heart and mind of the client, of the customer, we need to develop a strategy. We need to understand the customer empathy. We need to understand the customer goal, challenges. Then from there, we need to look at our business. What happened with our business? Which are part of our business or processes are disconnected, and we need to connect them. As well as what information are not being passed on from one department to another department. We need to look into that. And of course, the infrastructure, we also need to be connected. Because what we are trying to achieve, actually, we want to define a so-called model, a digitally connected enterprise. So from strategy to the business, to the information, to the application and infrastructure, and vice versa. So in today's era, especially if you are in the brick and mortar company, you need to really look beyond and transform yourself into towards digital. Yeah, so my analogy continue in this slide. So basically on the left side, you can imagine this is what happened with our brick and mortar or physical business if you are not fully digital. So you have a people, you have a process, you have a department, you adopt specific technology or system to support the business. And somehow, if you want to drive the value or innovation, it's a very, very challenging world because most of the division is that they can only see or view limited scope of area. Because I don't think someone work in the company for like 30 or 40 years, if your company 50 years. Then this person have to move around between roles, between jobs, and between department. So it is very, very island by itself. So how do we break through this so-called typical brick and mortar and limitation on the silo of enterprise? Of course, one of the way is that we can define the digital enterprise map. So what happened is that the first layer is where we capture all the divisional head, all the key stakeholders in terms of their motivation, their KPI, and the strategy. This is very, very important. Then from there, we can cascade down into the business layer. We need to understand which are the business division or function and process that support or realize or fulfilling what the aspiration of the senior management. This is something that need to be traced. So in the real actual modeling of enterprise architecture, you will see something like this. Then from there, we also need to look at the application because today we are living in the digital world. We cannot define the process. After that, we run it manually or using Excel spreadsheet. So we need to have the integrated and connected system, as well as the infrastructure need to be well supported. Like now, we need to work from home. We need to work from anywhere. So all the infrastructure need to be ready. And of course, there will be the information that need to integrate and connect all of them. So basically, information is become a single source of truth, capture once, and disseminated to a various party within the enterprise. And the bottom part is where we are running the project execution. So this is something very, very important and critical. And many organizations today are not ready to have this model. So if you have attended my previous webinar, it is an opportunity for us to drive this adoption because this is something that organizations need to have. And of course, we also need to have the enterprise architecture to drive the technology, strategy, and innovation. And of course, we need to drive the continuous digital transformation. Because of course, quite sad, in the last 2 years, I've been meeting up with quite a number of the transformation team. So typically, they are only running many initiatives. So they don't really run a real transformation, but instead, they are running many projects. But the project itself, it runs as one initiative. Like if you remember my previous slide, it's about digitally connected enterprise. So it is a very so-called a silo, whereby what we need to have is a single platform with many services to serve our business. So this is the diagram that can illustrate all that. So in the middle part is where we need the enterprise architect to drive all the transformation as the core team. Then after that, we can have a thought leadership transformation and customer journey, which is the topic of this presentation. How can we transform the customer journey? And after that, skill set of the employee, information transformation, operating model, as well as digital business transformation. So this is something that are very critical for survival. It's no longer a luxury. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when I presented about this topic, you know, when we have no incident like this year, all these are become a luxury. But today is the necessity, it's the survival. All right, with that, let me share with you on the video, short video on how the transformation towards digitally connected enterprise will take place. So let's watch this video shortly.
We explain the business world of tomorrow. This is Emma. Personally, she's well connected in the digital world. Her smartphone guarantees her constant web access and keeps her in touch with her friends. She uses dozens of handy apps to take care of everything when she's on the go. And there are thousands of new possibilities appearing every day. But why is Emma's company any different? True, she did introduce some technological tools to simplify administrative tasks, but that was many years ago, and IT has come a long way since. By now, those systems are practically ancient. When she tries to retrieve data, it can take ages. And communication with partners or customers is very roundabout. No one is ever quite on the same page. Enough is enough. It's high time for a digital transformation in the business world. Otherwise, Emma and many other companies might fall behind in the market as small startups and even suppliers and manufacturers become serious competitors. In the internet age, the value chain has been completely reorganized. Consumers and producers are now in direct contact. That's why Emma's company, its corporate IT systems, and all of its communications are overdue for an urgent upgrade. The internet links everyone in a global network. Emma can now identify the best partner companies quickly and collaborate with them seamlessly. The data flows over broadband technology and can be accessed anywhere. This lets Emma's company seize groundbreaking opportunities. She can implement interfaces to reach customers through brand new channels that target them directly. Plus, customized product extensions lead to fresh business models that are just as versatile as today's mobile society. In the digital world, IT is not only a tool anymore, it's the central seed for every company's growth. Emma is ready to go full speed ahead into the digital transformation. In her race against her competitors, that's how she'll gain ground and impress her customers.
Right, so you have seen how the technology playing a critical role for a successful digital transformation. So I believe some of you have seen these pictures about the parents that has bought a lovely toy with the musical, with the swirl that can rotate, and show it to the baby. And of course, we look at the side or at the top, look very, very pretty. But have you ever tried to put yourself as a baby? What do you think the baby will saw what happened with the toy? Besides, of course, the very nice music and song and etc. So this is what the baby saw. So this is what happened is that in many customer engagement, many of the customer service team, they don't really understand what the customer feel. What they think is that I've given the best service to my client, but yet we still receiving many complaints because this is what happened, what our customer experiencing our product and services. So this is very, very pathetic. And of course, today digital customer is super demanding. Their expectation is real time. They want a fast response. They will not accept if you tell them, I will give me 2 weeks to analyze your situation. They are really expecting something that almost instantly. You need to just open your computer and you need to know how to resolve the problem. I mean, at most, they can wait within a day. But unfortunately, even today, myself, I've experiencing quite number with even with the global brand. They're actually not fully ready to serve the customer, despite their slogan is like, you know, they are providing the best customer service and etc. But unfortunately, they don't have the information at hand. So, you know, the businesses, the management wanted to provide, they come out a good branding and etc. But the experience is still very, very poor. And of course, our customer today also is they are expecting on demand. They can do all the transaction on anywhere, anytime. They can customize their experience and etc. So basically, they expect everything is the seamless experience from multiple devices and multiple from the kiosk to the mobile phone to the laptop and etc. And of course, everything needs to be online. We don't want to go, they tell you, oh, okay, sorry, sir, for this incident, can you go to our counter? And this is also still happening. Recently, I am also dealing with one of the financial institution that has already claimed to be fully digital, and yet I need to go to the branch because they said that for your case, we cannot handle online. So this is the reality of life, and this is happening in 2020. And do it yourself. The customer expect that I should be able to control my whatever I want to do, and they expect to do it a self-service. You know, it's like the airline. Last time we have to go to travel agent. Now we can book the airline, we can book the hotel ourselves. And of course, this is the scary part. The bottom part is social media. Social media is real. Whatever we have a very bad experience from the client, we can, you know, become a poison into the social media. We can so-called express our frustration, our anger, perhaps, about the poor service that we receive. So this is something that we all need to think now. In the past, maybe not many social media, the most they can complain to the family members, to the relative, but now they can complain to their Facebook, their LinkedIn, their Instagram, that they got thousands of the followers. And this may impact the reputation or brand reputation of your organization. So we really need to think carefully today in terms of the designing and architecting a good customer experience. So let's take a look on the key design principle in driving successful digital transformation. Of course, the first thing first is the digital world, I think, has been illustrated earlier. It's a very complex world. They got the relationship like inside in, inside out, outside out, and outside in. So everything is fully inter and intra connected. So the first thing first, in terms of the design principle, our decision and our model, everything must be customer-led. So we really need to know what are so-called our customer challenges. So we need to study our customer behavior, customer expectation. Perhaps one of a few of our key clients, we need to understand what are actually their wish list or how can we do it better. So in terms of this customer-led, I want to lead you into the, if you can see my mouse here. So customer journey map and business architecture. So this is a very, very important so-called fundamental that we need to have in order for us to architect or to design customer-led initiative. Because if customer-led, likelihood they are happy, they are loyal with us, and they can help to market our product to their peer, their social media, and etc. So this is what we need to have: customer journey map and business architecture. The second one is insight driven. We need to know all our customer pattern, who they are, their profile, their age group, their income, their emotion, their jobs, their lifestyle. And this is very, very important to customize our product, our promotion, and etc. So in order to do that, we need some sort of artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data analytics, and this is what I call it information architecture. So it's very, very important for an organization to have the information architecture that can give this insight. The next one, of course, responsiveness. In order for us to get responsiveness, we need to have a good process. We need to know the good system that can give us the so-called the features, the data that we need. So we need to have a very good business architecture and software architecture. And of course, the last principle is connected principle. So in the past, we have been doing many applications. So most of them are in silo. So now we have to connect them. We have to integrate various business process, various division, include internally as well as externally to the partner, and we need to have some sort of the infrastructure architecture to get a connected environment and platform. So these are the 4 design principles for successful digital transformation. And of course, in this context, in our presentation, is that we want to provide or design a good customer experience. So this is some of the customer journey map. So I believe some of you already defined customer journey map. So customer journey map is nothing new. Has been around in the last 5 years, the most intensive, but actually they've been around like 10 years. But the last 5 years has been quite intensive in terms of the adoption. So many, even the government agency, they're also defining their customer journey map. They call it moment of life. So this is very, very important. But one thing though that I observe through my engagement with the various clients is that they can draw a very pretty customer journey map. However, the execution is still very poor, because they can't identify the gaps in terms of the business gaps, information gap, application gap, and technology gap, which is what the focus of my presentation. So before continuing, let's just look at the typical perception in terms of the mapping to multiple persona. So this is basically is about the burger shop that understand that a different age group have a different persona, and the shop is really catering to all of them. So let's just watch this video.
Every restaurant wants its customers to be happy. But how can you tell whether this is actually the case? And how can effective improvements and innovations be made to your services? Finding the answers to these questions requires knowing more about your customers. What sort of people are they? What do they expect from the restaurant? Customer journey mapping, seeing things through customers' eyes, allows us to take a good look at a restaurant's services from the outside. Customers are asked to share their experiences in detail as part of our in-depth qualitative research. Cultural probing, one-on-one interviews, observations are all part of the customer journey mapping methodology, providing great insights and data to develop different personas. This student is looking for a comfortable place to eat and work with fellow students. He'd like to place group orders in advance, but finds the mobile website too complicated. This woman is having a tough day at work. She wants the convenience of ordering online and still having a relaxing time eating healthy food. This senior citizen is feeling lonely at home. She wants to go out for a snack and maybe a chat, but finds it confusing to order food at the counter. Finally, this working man is in a busy meeting. He would like to have his lunch delivered during his break and is anxious that it arrives on time. These customer journeys serve as a source of inspirational ideas. Imagine that you get to understand your customers better. You know which points in your service are below customer expectations, and you can develop new or improved ideas together with your customers. Let's say our student places his online group order without any problems. At the restaurant, his group sits at a large table with power socket, games, and free internet. Our working woman can easily make healthy choices thanks to the clear information about nutritional values and ingredients. The atmosphere in the restaurant is relaxing, and, after lunch, she can even stay for a free chair massage. Our senior citizen is shown to her seat by the friendly staff, where her order is taken. She soon finds someone to chat with. And our working man is focused on his meeting, sure that his business lunch will be delivered on time. Customer journey mapping enables you to effectively improve your services and work on a healthy future for your company, a future with happy customers.
So the next one is on the customer journey map. So this is actually by design. If you see in your screen, they have a quite number of the so-called the level of satisfaction from a horrible to the bad, to the neutral, to the satisfied, to the gratified. So some of the design by the organization, this is actually the so-called retail for household products. I think you know the name of this shop. Their shop typically is very huge, with the last car park, with the last cafeteria. So what happened is that the car park, they put it number 2, but in terms of the store location and appearance, they put it as so-called between neutral and satisfied. But in terms of the indoor decoration, it's very, very pretty. And of course, this one is like DIY shopping tools. It's about average, but you have to do round tour. So basically, they make sure that it's very hard for you to escape. You have to go through the flow of the retail shop. So they know that people complaining about that, but they leave it there as a bad experience. So it's by design. Then in terms of the product quality, it's very, very good. So basically, they give you a money back guarantee. They are no question asked. You can buy the product. If you're not happy within a month, you can exchange it. Yeah. Then of course the price is also very, very competitive and meeting many of the household income. And display setting also very pretty. Can do product trial, which I mentioned just now, is that they are not concerned that you buy the product and next week you decided you want to return it, so they will take it from you. Then of course the label and signage is good, but after that you have to do self-service. You have to pick up the product yourself, and then you have to push the trolley, and of course the toilet also they put it number 12 between bad and neutral. And then kids playground is not bad. The parent can just leave the kids in there and then they can just go shopping. And the canteen is fantastic. The food is very good quality, and also reasonable price. Yeah, and of course to pick the stock is make it very tough, and then you have to do installation. So they expect you do DIY, do it yourself. Otherwise, you have to go through the so-called get the services for installation. And of course, they got the ice cream and hot dog. So if you see, this retail has been designed in this manner of every customer journey. Now, of course, the question is, do you have the map something like this for your organization? Of course, some of you may think that you do have, some maybe don't have, but it's good now time that we need to look into this type of customer journey mapping. So let me continue with this MRI scanning machine. So I believe you not everyone, maybe some of us already gone through into the MRI machine. So basically, we go through the scanning of our full body to, if you have some sort of a so-called X-ray, can't really find the cause of the pain. So this is of course invented by the GE engineer, by Doug Dietz. So basically, it's a common machine. So let me just now guide you through a scenario. Imagine this Sophia, a 6.5 years old little girl. What do you think her experience when the mother or with the doctor, with the nurses brought her into this room? What do you think about her reaction? Do you think she'll be happy? Do you think she'll be smiling? Or she will run away and cry? Of course, this is the reality of life. When looking at that table, she thought that she doesn't know what happened after she being pushed into that table, maybe never come out. So she will cry. Can we do something about this? This is of course another aspect about how can we improve, understand the persona of a different customer. Because let's try to map on her journey. So first, we need to identify the persona. So we have a persona of Sophia, 6.5 years old. And of course, what are the journey steps like just now for her to go through the so-called MRI scanning? Yeah. So these are typical scenario. First, of course, she need to go to see the doctor with the mom or with the father, right? With the dad. Then after that, of course, we ride to hospital. Then after that, check in to hospital, walk to MRI room. Then of course, see MRI machine. After that, what happened? She will cry and resist. Okay. Then the doctor enter. She will just keep crying all the time. So the experience totally not pleasant. What can we do about this? So we need to understand on the channel. They got on-site channel. They got digital channel. So these are the on-site channel like the doctor, the mom, the check-in nurses, the imaging technology, and then the mom again, the nurses again. Then of course the doctor and the imaging technology. Then of course they got take-home packet, they got the card, they got the chart, they got MRI machine, they got medical record, and etc. And we also need to understand her emotion, right? What are her emotion? Of course, for the very first time, she asked, "Am I really sick?" Right? I would rather go to school than going to this MRI scanning. Okay, and of course, when she saw the so-called machine, she basically freaked out and she wanted to run away and cry. And of course, we need to understand the product and services. Yeah, so the services in terms of all the hospital building, system administration, the nurses, and of course all the patient record and also the drug and etc. Because if she keep crying, doctor may put her into sleep. So what can we do about this experience? So this is the normal machine. What if we understand the persona? And after we observe all the, the little boy or girl are crying in the machine, can we change something? The answer definitely yes. What if we make the scanning something like this? So of course with the suite, put on the suite with the children's song, with the TV, with the, some toys, all the kids will love this. So we can change. It's not that impossible to change. For adult, yes, we can take it, but for the experience for the small kid, we need to change that. Yeah, so this is basically one of the example. And of course, we need to understand the 5 components of customer journey map. The first, we need to understand the persona, and every persona have a different so-called customization. We need to understand for the student, for the elderly, for the mother, for the young adult, for the teenager, for the man, woman, all have a different persona. So we need to understand this very, very carefully when we design our customer experience. The first one also, we need to know the timeline. When is the time typically they are buying? Like if you provide a holiday, typically, of course, now the many resorts also very, very smart. They put surcharge during school holiday. So there'll be the time to buy that, that many people buying when they got a new product. So we need to know the life cycle of our product and services. And we also need to know emotion. When the people sad, would they buy our product or only those who are happy? You'll be surprised some of the product is only for the people who are in the mourn or sad, right? Like you arrange all type of the, like funeral hotels and etc. But some of the product like holiday, when people happy, like cake, when people are happy, restaurant, when people want to celebrate. So we cannot ignore the emotion. So we need to target what sort of emotion that people will be approaching us, buying our product. So we need to know the emotion of the people. And of course, the channel. We need to know the range of the channel that we provide to our client. Is it by the mobile only, by the kiosk, by the, maybe by online TV or website? The touch point, right? So we need to know whether they can go to the physical store, or they can also view it online. They want to see the review and etc. So these are something are very, very important. And these are the example on the so-called empathy map. We need to understand about the empathy map of our client, what they think, what they feel, what they see, what they say, what they do, what they hear, what are their pain, what are their gain. Because all these are very, very important in their buying decision, regardless of enterprise or individual. So they got some of we need to understand this, and we need to map in our customer journey mapping. And of course, we need to know the value proposition canvas. So we need to know why would they buy your product instead of your competitor product. So all these need to be properly designed. So these are the example of the brand experience customer journey map. So they are mapping all the so-called customer map, from the guiding principle to the customer journey to the thought to the emotion and etc. So I just let you glance through. Then I think they got many sample out there. And of course, these are some of the online example of online bookstore customer journey map. When would the customer happy if you see all the feeling, the emoji there? So they understand also the pain point and the opportunity. So we understand all this, and we need to map that, because otherwise it's very, very difficult for us to sell the product. In the past, we don't really need to care about this. We just put the product in the store and people come and browse. Now the expectation is that customer more savvy. They got the online community for review and etc. So we really need to look after this consideration in our design. The same thing when buying health insurance. What are they looking for? So we need to know all their salary, their income, their lifestyle, and etc. And also, how can now we adopt a technology? For instance, that if they're using the so-called tracker, like the watch, that can send the signal to your data center, so you can give them the discount in terms of the insurance. The same thing with the car, with the motor car insurance. So if they send some sort of the sensor that you are a good driver and etc., you can give them discount. So all these are very, very important to keep your customer loyal in your product. Of course, in terms of the service design, this is like a 96 touch point. So we need to understand all the so-called the touch point, each one of them, and we can put so-called the highlight, because we cannot ignore or think will happen by itself. Everything is that by design. So design is a keyword in today's digital era. So of course, the other keyword is architecture. So without the architecture, it's not by chance that our product, our company survive, or we can win the competition. So what we need to do is that we need to have some sort of enterprise architecture process to design or define our so-called customer journey. So this one, if you can see all the layers. So typically architecture is targeting those strategy and motivation layer. Then from there, cascade down to the business layer. And business layer is supported by the application and information layer. And of course, the application and information layer is supported by the technology layer and the physical layer. Physical layer here, I'm referring to the Internet of Things, sensors, and etc. And of course, there will be so-called implementation and migration layer. So typically is that in the strategy and motivation layer, we need to define the strategy, the winning formula for excellent customer service experience. So how are we going to do that? So this is basically the question that we need to answer at the strategy and motivation layer. How are we going to provide an excellent customer service experience? So when the customer buying our product and services, they'll be very, very happy. Because if you are the so-called the head of the organization, if you are at the vice president level or you are at the C level, if you go to the function, suddenly you meet your existing client, and your existing client is making a complaint about your product and services, how embarrassed could that be? So we really need to think through on how we define a strategy for the development for excellent customer service experience. Once this is done, what we need to do is that we need to define and map customer journey mapping. which is what I'm going to share with you in the next couple of slides, how we do that. And of course, it's not forgotten about the architecting the information, application, and the technology infrastructure to support the seamless customer journey experience. Because today is that we need to have a connected technology as well at the back end to give us so-called the business, a digitally connected, holistic information at hand for decision making. So typically, the organization will start by defining a customer journey. Just now, I think you have seen the example. So this is basically is more on the simple template. So basically, they got the customer journey map. The one that I want to highlight actually at the bottom part. So in each of the journey map, we need to know the in terms of the business, data, application, and infrastructure. How well they are, how available they are, how integrated are they? Are they relevant to our business to support the customer journey without any broken link? So what I'm referring to at the bottom part is what I call it the gaps. So how do we address the gap? So typically in the typical workshop, we are going through something like this. We are addressing all the customer journey map. Then after that, we put the label. Are we good in this type of the channel, right? When the customer arriving in this, do we provide the good information? Yes. But when the customer move on to the next level, it become yellow. Then after that, it become red. Yeah, so I can give you the actual experience. So like a typical car, they got some of the car is with the manufacturing warranty, then they give extended warranty. Of course, interestingly is that one of my experience is that in one of the car dealer is that they don't have the tracking on the manufacturing expiry date of the warranty. So the client, I mean, I'm one of the victim that can't extend into the extended warranty because nobody informed me. So this definitely is a very bad customer experience because you cannot expect a customer to know everything. This is need to be supported by the reminder or maybe by the trigger, the workflow, the event, sending the WhatsApp, sending the message, sending the email, and etc. So that we don't have the red color here. This is just the example. So we need to make sure all the yellow and red are turned to green. So this is a very, very important, like what you see in the mapping. You need to address that at the bottom layer by identifying the gap with the traffic light. Of course, in terms of the 9 process in defining customer journey map, first is that we need to identify our product and services. So what are the product and services that we are trying to offer? Then after that, we need to select a specific customer to map. Basically, we need to define the persona. This product, our product, they're targeting the housewife or targeting the family or targeting the children, targeting the student, and etc. So we need to identify that. And then the third one, we need to put empathize with the customer. So basically, we need to put the emotion. Are they happy? Are they in the good mood when they're buying our product, or they are in the situation that when they got specific assignment, they were looking to our product and services, etc. So we need to empathize with the customer. And number 4, we need to define channels. So how are we going to distribute our product and services? Is it all online, or they can get a free trial and etc. So we need to define that. Then after that, we need to map a touch point interaction based on the channel. So do we provide the help desk? Do we provide the online support and etc. Of course, after that, we put customer journey map itself. Yeah, number 6. Then after that, we identify the process and the skill requirements. So here we identify the gap. What are the things needed at the business layers, business architecture layer. Then after that, we look at the information layer. What are the information required in every journey step? Then after that, we look at the system and the application and the technology requirement. So this is basically the reality of life. But unfortunately today in many of the customer journey workshop that I have come across, they only address up to the number 5. Yeah, so number 6, sorry, up to number 6. So number 7, 8, and 9 are not done because they said it's outside the scope and then we pass it to the IT team. So this is basically a broken link that I discovered in many instances in many enterprises today. So the team has been working hard, go maybe offsite. You define 1 and 6, very, very pretty, the map, but you don't have the 7, 8, and 9. So basically is that whatever you decide, whatever you develop cannot be implemented because the 7, 8, 9 is the one that executing it. This is what I call it the enterprise architecture method to push the realization, the execution of the excellent customer journey with the closed loop connected environment. So this is basically another map in terms of the how we develop from the strategy to the execution. So we can start with the value and the strategy in terms of the value stream. Then after that, we look at the business capability, we look at the application function, we look at the data required, we look at the process, and after that, of course, this is linked back to the customer journey. So if you see all these requirements in terms of the customer journey integration from strategy to execution, all of the so-called activity here require a business architecture. Without the business architecture, you can just define and very, very difficult to execute. And the next one, of course, we need to have application and infrastructure architecture. And last but not least is the information architecture that are required to connect various data sources to present the data for a strategic decision making in the dashboard. So typical journey is typically we start with the discovery map. So we need to define a discovery map in terms of the brainstorming about just now the 9 step that we are trying to do. So there'll be many so-called flip chart and the whiteboard required to define. Then after that, we zoom in into the persona. So in this instance, the persona is the Chief Digital Transformation Officer. So basically, we are looking at the product that only he will be interested. So we typically profile the age is maybe in the age of the 40 and above, gender male, the salary 15,000, the location, the education, the family background, what are their goals, what are their challenges, what are the value looking for, what are their fears of failure. Everybody fears of failure. Then after that, we look at the product and services on what does he already has. And after that, of course, we need to define the marketing message and etc. So all these are very, very important in defining today context of the excellent customer experience. Once we have done this, we zoom in more about him. We need to understand about what he think and feel. So in this context, it's like we are trying to positioning enterprise architecture to him. So we have to think about implementation of EA could help the organization or enterprise to achieve the goal. The feel is that excited, motivated, and anticipation. So these are something that we need to understand. The next one, we also need to understand about what does he see. So he sees something about digital transformation organization will be a success. And we need to help the organization to have better workplace and structured work processes. So what does he say and do? Basically, new experience to explore together and work together, support basically our business and recommended our services. So basically, this is what he says and do. Then what does he hear? So he hear a good review about the implementation, about EA, and then the best consulting services in achieving digital transformation with EA adoption best practices. And we also need to know his pain. His pain is that he has a limited budget and the time constraint to deliver. And also the gain is that he has a clear definition of goal and organization. He has done awareness of the digital transformation. So we need to understand and put ourselves in his shoe. What all these components mean to him. So if we can capture this, so we should be able to get his support and also get his mind to help us to continue with our services, product and services. So this is another example on the storyboarding. So we need to do a storyboarding before we put that into the system, into the computer system. The same thing with all the engagement mapping. So we need to put our sticky note that we have done in the first part, and then we stick it here. Then after that, at the end, we come out with the customer journey map. So this is the example on the so-called just now on the workshop, the sticky note. At the end, you put it something like this. And this mapping is not standalone. So typically, you'll be entering this into a system, into the digital enterprise architecture repository. And this one will be connected back to the business, to the application, to the technology, to the goal, drivers, and all the so-called the issue or persona that we're targeting as our client. So with that, actually, just want to introduce you. We have this workshop. If you are interested to learn more, they got the 2 days workshop that we often conduct in terms of the teaching you all the what you have seen in the last half an hour on the customer journey mapping. And of course, this is one of the so-called recommended training, which is a standalone. So basically from there, you can see, you can have a feasibility in terms of what are the gaps currently you have in terms of the information for every customer journey point, what are application required, what are the technology required. So with that, let me just share with you a customer journey map summary video.
Grocki from MadPow, and today I'll be showing you how to create customer journey maps. Journey maps are a visual interpretation of an individual's relationship with an organization, service, product, or brand over time and across channels. A journey map helps us explore answers to the what-ifs that arise during research and conceptual design. They should include items like personas, a timeline, the emotions being felt by customers, touch points, and channels where the interactions are taking place. So how does one create a customer journey map? There are 9 key steps. Number 1, review the goals for the product or service. Number 2, gather our research. Some of my favorite research methods include customer interviews, contextual inquiry, customer surveys, customer support logs, web analytics, social media, and competitive intelligence. Number 3, generate a list of customer touchpoints and the channels on which those touchpoints occur. For example, the touchpoint could be pay a bill, and the channels associated with that touchpoint could be pay online, pay in person, or pay via mail. Number 4, conduct an exercise called an empathy map. Empathy maps depict the various facets of a persona and his or her experiences in a given scenario. The goal of the empathy map is to get a sense of how it feels to be that customer in this experience. Number 5, brainstorm with what we call lenses. This means we generate ideas in a short period of time with words representing key concepts, brand attributes, or mindsets that help us look at a problem in a different way. Number 6, complete an affinity diagram where we organize ideas and find cohesion in the team's concepts. It helps us focus on the right solutions for this audience. Number 7, this is the part you've been waiting for, sketching the journey. This is where we put together all the ideas the team generated for how to improve the future customer journey. Get creative on how you lay it out. There's no one way of sketching a customer journey. Number 8, refine and digitize. If visual design isn't your strong suit, consider collaborating with someone who can turn your journey map into an impressive artifact. And lastly, number 9 is to share them with zeal. Shout from the rooftops and display them prominently in common areas. That's all. I hope you found this useful, and best of luck in creating your own journey maps.